NCFELD. Now, this is the North Carolina Foundations for Early Learning and Development, otherwise known as NCFELD. Okay, so I got to the NCFELD by just going to Google and Googling NCFELD. And that took me to the Google, these were the Google results, and I clicked on North Carolina Foundations for Early Learning, and it took me here. You can print it out. You'll see it's 176 pages, which is a lot of pages, but I usually just use it online. Now, something else I want to tell you is if you do have the printed version, I want you to notice this, for example, let's go down to this one. This is page 2 down here, okay, page 2, but it's slide 12. So if you are ever talking to somebody about it and you say, somebody says on page 68, well, page 68 is going to be slide 78. So page 68, slide 78. So you have to make that 10-page difference if you're talking about it to somebody who has the book and you're looking at it online. All right, so I'm just going to walk you through and kind of talk to you about what is the NCFELD and how should you use it. So the NCFELD is a book that is meant to be a guide for teaching. So look right here. Foundations can be used as, it is meant as a guide for teachers to help us with planning and implementing curriculum. It helps kind of guide us on children's development and learning, and it's really meant for just to be used as a guide. This is not meant to be used as a developmental checklist. This is not meant for, let me see, I think there's somewhere in here that gives you a checklist of all the things it's not meant to be used for. Maybe not. It is not meant to be used for parents to give them to say, see, your child is not on the appropriate level. That is not what this is used for. This can inform parents. It can kind of tell them about different activities that they could do at home. But really, this is for teachers. This is for you, and it is meant to be a guide. We're going to get more into how to use it in just a little bit. So what you're going to see as you look through the NCFELD is that you're going to have pages like this. It's broken up into domains, subdomains, and goals. We're going to talk about all of those. Your domains each have their own color. All right, so you have approaches to play and learning, emotional and social development. You have health and physical development, language development and communication, and cognitive development. So these are your domains. Now, a domain is a big, broad something, right? So if I were to tell you, hey, I want you to go up and plan a lesson that helps children learn to play, that involves play and learning. That is a very big, broad topic. So there's lots of different things that you could say about that. So what the state has done when they've created this is they were like, okay, there are lots of ways to approach play and learning, but let's break it down into a few categories. So then they broke it down into these 4 categories. These are your subdomains: curiosity, information seeking, and eagerness, play and imagination. All right, so these bolded pieces are your subdomains. Even if I said, I want for you to create a lesson about play and imagination, that's still really, really broad. So the state broke it down even more. Now they said within play and imagination, we really want you to concentrate on teaching children how to engage in increasingly complex play. We want you to provide opportunities for children to demonstrate creativity, imagination, inventiveness. So even within approaches to play and learning, we break it down even more. Within that subdomain, play and imagination, we break it down even more into these goals. And every one of the domains are broken down into subdomains, which are then broken down into goals. Okay, now see all these little pieces that say like ESD and ESD Goal 1, ESD Goal 2. We're going to talk about what all these mean. Notice this one is APL. That is because approaches to play and learning, APL, approaches to play and learning. And then down here, emotional and social development, ESD. We get how this is going? Language development and communication. LDC. Language development and communication. Okay, so hold that thought. Now let's go over and let's look at one of our domains and subdomains that has been broken down even more. So we focused on children playing and learning. We talked about play and imagination. So this is the one that we're going to do. For every single domain and subdomain, which remember the subdomain was play and imagination, there's going to be a goal. And for every goal, there are going to be developmental indicators. So if I had a classroom of older toddlers, for example, I may, if I'm focusing on play and imagination, I'm focusing on engaging in increasingly complex play, I may encourage children to try to involve other children in their play. I'm going to teach them how we play back and forth, how we play together. Maybe we're pretending to be cooking in the kitchen, and I'm going to make food and serve it to another child. And then that child's going to pretend to be in my restaurant, and they're going to pretend to eat the food like that. Okay, so look at this. If we were to do this same thing with infants, maybe we're going to show interest in other children playing and like watch and turn towards. So we're looking for infants to show interest in other children playing. This is APL 3A. That means approaches to play and learning, goal 3A. And then this one is approaches to play and learning, goal 3B. Approaches to play and learning, goal 3C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, right? So if I said in a lesson plan, I was using ALPN, then I would know, or that my supervisor would know, that I used approaches to play and learning, goal 3, which is in play and imagination, and N. This is the category and the spot that I was referring to. All right, every one of them is going to have that. So this is still approaches to playing learning, but this is goal 4. Goal 4 was children demonstrate creativity, imagination, and inventiveness. And so these are different things on the developmental indicators that we're wanting to see children be able to do. That means that you need to teach these in your lessons, right? So we want them to be able to use materials like art materials, instruments, construction, writing, implements like, crayons, chalk, things like that, or actions to represent experiences or ideas in novel ways. So we have to give them opportunities to do those things. If you're like, man, I just can't really think of any, well, then I can flip later into the book. Slide 46, page 36. Here's some ideas. Here's strategies for infants and toddlers. We are going to need to just accept that getting messy is a part of children's learning and play. We need to allow and encourage children to solve problems in their own ways. It's really hard for us mamas sometimes not to do it for them. But if we give them opportunities to solve problems in their ways, then we're giving them room to grow. So these pages are going to give you ideas and strategies that not only you can use to prepare your lesson plans, but also that you can help. These are great to stick in your newsletters to help parents have ideas of how to interact and play with their children. Okay, something else I want to talk to you about NCFELD. The NCFELD, and I'm going to scroll back up here to the domains so we can look over them. The NCFELD is broken up into domains and subdomains and goals, but when you teach a lesson, more than likely, your lesson is not going to fall under just one or the other. Your lesson, for example, if we did a read aloud, if we were to do a read aloud, then we might be able to meet this goal where they're showing, they're seeking to understand the world around them, they're showing curiosity, but we might also be able to, if our book is about maybe a how I feel kind of book, or there's a book by Jamie Lee Curtis called Today I Feel Silly, This might be about demonstrating a positive sense of identity. Um, or we might be talking about identifying, managing, and expressing our feelings. So, even something as simple as a read aloud could fall under lots of different domains. Okay, um, let's see. I think that's all that I want you to know about the NCFELD is that it has domains, subdomains, and goals that you can use it to help guide your lessons. Um, that, for example, if I had a lesson that I do all the time, I might come to one of the developmental indicators and I might see if I am on the right track with, if I have younger preschoolers, am I on the right track developmentally? Or is there something here that I can help enhance my lesson? This is the NCFELD is not meant to be used as a developmental checklist. It is absolutely meant to be used as a guide for teachers, but can also be used to share strategies with parents and can help you make sure that you're making the best of your lessons.